What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Days Films. It's your boy Z, and I'm back with another movie review. Now, I did a non-spoilers review of Smile, and it's here on my YouTube channel. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, because it's going to be a spoiler review for this one, if you don't want to hear spoilers, you can go check out that video, the non-spoilers video. It's on my YouTube channel. Well, we are going to finally get into reviews, spoiler reviews of the movie Smile, which I thought was a very creepy ass movie. Not one I really seen like that before. I mean, I know that, of course, there's ones out there, but I've never seen them. So, the movie stars Sosie Bacon as Dr. Rose, who works in works with mental health patients. She's a really good doctor. Like, she helps, people out, who can't, who don't have any insurance, but, and of course, her boss, kind of gives her crap about it, but, well, she gets a patient one day who's really, really freaked out. She says that she, that she doesn't want people to think that she's crazy, but, she's been seeing people, and the people look like people that she knows, look like strangers. And, she's all freaked out because it's pretty much telling her that, you're going to die. That I'm going to kill you. So, Rose is trying to understand what the hell is, what she's talking about. And, the girl is trying to explain that, I'm not crazy. So, all of a sudden, the girl starts freaking out, said, it's here, it's here, it's here. And she starts going crazy. She falls down to the ground, and it looks like somebody's choking her. So Rose goes over to call for help. And when she gets off the phone, she turns around. It's really quiet. There's a broken vase. The girl's she's looking around the room, doesn't see her. All of a sudden, the girl is sitting there with a really, really creepy smile. And she has a piece of the broken vase in her hand. So she takes the thing, the broken vase part, right, and she starts cutting right there. And the whole time she's smiling at the same time. So you see all the blood just start pouring out. And people run in, but of course she's dead because that was a crazy ass cut. Well, Rose goes home, and she's really, really freaked out about it. I mean, who wouldn't be freaked out about after what you just saw? Well, she takes a shower, she has a glass of wine. Her husband comes, her fiance walks in and scares the shit out of her. And speaking of her fiance, he is played by Jesse T. Usher. His name is Trevor. And for this guy to be her fiance, he is he did a good job. Jesse T. Usher did a good job playing the character. But the husband, the fiance is he kind of means nothing to this movie. He is the most unsupportive fiance I've seen. Because eventually Rose starts seeing she starts seeing stuff. Like while she was drinking a glass of wine, she saw the girl like that killed herself. She saw her sitting there on like I think it might have been a reflection or something. She was on something like a fridge or something, a cabinet, and it looked like she was smiling, and she was smiling at Rose with that really creepy smile. So eventually, we find out that what was happening to that woman that killed herself starts happening to Rose. And her fiance doesn't even try to believe her a little bit. Like, he doesn't even, like, try. He doesn't even try, like, not even 1% to try to believe what's going on. Like, he is so not supportive at all. And I know it's these movies, and people said, oh, like, where crap is going on, like, we don't believe in aliens and all that stuff like that. But still, like, he doesn't even try to believe his fiance, not even a little bit. It's not even those cases of let me try to understand before I make judgment. No, he just doesn't believe it right away. So, we find out that the thing is an entity. And it feeds off your, like, it fucks with your head, make you see stuff, that's not real. And it just seems like it maybe feed off your fear too, because like it has you seeing the craziest shit, like really creepy shit. It has you see that you think is real. Well, like for example, Rose had to took a little day. Her boss gave her a paid week off from work to get her head together because, like, she's like, he's like, you can't be taking care of patients if you're not taking care of yourself. So Rose ends up going to a birthday party for her nephew. We watch her wrap a train set. Now, before I get more detail to that, Rose has a cat, and one night, she's drinking a glass of wine, and the alarm in her house goes off. She gets a phone call from the people. When you have security, they call after your alarm goes off. So, she picks up and she's talking to him. All of a sudden, the person starts acting really creepy. Like, are you sure you didn't let anything in the house? So it was her mom was being played with. Her mom was being played with again. And this time, the real people ended up calling. The cops show up and they find nothing in the house. So they leave. Now, she has a cat. The cat goes missing. She can't find the cat. Well, that's what I was saying about birthday party. She went to the birthday party, and we watch her wrap the train set for her nephew. To get there, they sing happy birthday. They open up the gifts. He gets to his aunts. He opens it up, and he's just looking. And his mom, which is Rose's sister, is like, what is it, honey? So that he picks it up out the box like this, and it's Rose's cat that's fucking dead. The dead cat was in the box, was in the gifts. So of course everybody starts freaking out. Her sister's like, how could you do that? Why would you do something like this? So Rose is all freaked out, like, and she looks over, she sees something smiling at her, and she's like, you guys, she's like, you don't see that? Like, it's smiling at me, like, and she's all freaked out, like, I didn't do this, you gotta believe me. Well, something startles her, and she falls through a fucking glass table, and cuts all around on her forearm. But this thing can play tricks on your mind bad as hell. So it had Rose thinking that she was wrapping a train set, when in reality she was wrapping her dead cat that was dead. And there's a cop that's in this. Who is he played by? Yes. Stupid thing. So I said I don't really write notes down. I don't write notes down. I usually just go in one of my phones. Here we go. Played by is Kyle Gallner. Sorry, I could be butchering his name, but he plays Joel, and he's one of the cops on that was on the case about when the girl slit her throat earlier in the movie. Well, Joel and Rose used to date, and she ends up going to Joel for most help, for a lot of the help in this movie. Like I said, the fiance was just completely useless in this movie. He didn't even try to go around with his fiance, Like, he just thinks that she's batshit crazy. She sees a therapist too. Well, the thing about it, this entity, it breaks you down. It has you seeing, the craziest things, and the reason it could get hooked on you, because if it's just somebody else and they commit suicide, or right in front of you, it gets transferred to you. So when that woman slit her throat and Rose was there to witness it, the entity attached onto her. Rose goes to get Joel's help to find out what's going on. She finds out that there was a teacher who killed himself right in front of his students. We find out he was seeing the same thing. Rose goes to pretends to be a reporter to talk to his wife to find out what he was seeing and all that. Well, he drew down a lot of the stuff that he was seeing, and you see one of the drawings with the creepy smile. I forget what family member his wife said it was in the drawing. But he was seeing the same thing, and but they do find somebody. They do find somebody who actually went through the same thing, but he actually survived it. So they went to talk to him. And Rose, she says my friend, because she tries not to freak the guy out, and that she's going through it. So she said, my friend's going through it. How did you beat it? So he beat it by killing his next door neighbor and having his having, I think it was, I can't remember if he killed I think he might have killed the husband, and he had the wife witness it, and it got passed on to her. So apparently the only way to really beat this thing, you have to murder somebody, and somebody has to be there to witness it for it to get passed on to them. So as he's going into details, Rose eventually, slips up and he finds out that it's her. So who the entity is attached to. So he starts freaking out like, go away, go away, go away, because he's he's in prison. He's in prison for the murder. So he starts freaking out. She leaves. So nobody really believes, Rose about what's going on. So eventually she goes off to try to fight this thing herself, because she was contemplating on murdering somebody, but it's not who that character is, whereas that's not who Rose is. She wouldn't murder somebody. So she goes off and tries to fight this thing herself. The thing plays tricks on her, and they hit us with the twist. We think that, eventually Rose defeats it, because she goes back to the house that she grew up in, that her mom was really, really sick, and she does have nightmares in the movie about her mom. She goes back to the house, and she decides to want to face the entity there. So she faces it. She sets it on fire. The whole house burns down. She goes back to see Joel, and, he was like, not even her, like, her fiance was like, had disappeared out the movie. After he brought in her therapist to try to talk to her, we didn't see no sense. So she goes back to Joel and said, like, I just want to sleep. Could you, stay with me, I got hold of me and all that. Well, Joel starts acting really creepy, and then he starts doing the smile. We find out that the entity was fucking around with Rose's head, and she never defeated it. She was still in the house the entire time. But it's just one of those movies where there is no happy ending. Because when she realizes that she's still at the house, she runs outside, and Joel shows up, and she runs in screaming and all that. And, he's trying to get in the house, kick the door down, and the entity is talking to Rose, and eventually he starts going inside of her, and Joel comes busting in, and you see him sitting there. You see her Rose sitting there smiling with that creepy smile. So she's pouring, I guess, gasoline on herself, and she ends up setting fire to herself. Joel is witnessing it, so that's just letting us know right then and there that it's going to continue. And Joel is next. So I really enjoyed this movie. It was, it was a slow pace movie, little slow pace. So, and plus I was in a theater, like I said in my last review, I was in a theater by myself. I was like, that didn't help. Some of the jump scares did get me. But I did enjoy this movie. I did enjoy Smile. Now, The movie only had a 17 million budget, and it's made 189.2 million. So it ended up being a hit. Will there be a Smile 2? Who knows? But I enjoyed this movie. Like, I'm probably going to try to get some of my friends to watch it. I've already been telling people, like, watch it. So I really enjoyed this movie. So that is my review spoilers of Smile 2022. Like I said, it was a movie like I've never seen before. A lot of creepy moments, and putting yourself in a situation like that, what would you do? Like, would you just let the thing get you, or would you go out and kill somebody to try to pass it on to somebody else? Like I said, this is a situation that I don't know how I would handle. But thank you, everyone, for watching this review. And like I said, like I was saying in my previous videos, I have more content that's coming on the way. I already know what movie I'm doing next, and it's a movie that I've considered so far to be the best movie I've seen in 2022. And that definitely will be coming very soon. Thank you again. Please like, subscribe to the channel, because I have a lot more content coming on the way to Better Days Films. So please like. Oh yeah, and if you want to talk about this movie, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, if you want to talk about it in the comments, I'm always willing to have a conversation with somebody. So, just leave me a comment or something in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.